Okay, a buddy wants me to try and fix this broken tine on this 8-pointer. And if you look at it, if it'll ever focus, it's actually shattered and cracked all the way down to there. So we're going to hope that epoxy is going to fix that. Our support wire, clothes hanger again, we're trying to match it up to the same angle. The same angle as the others. And of course you have to drill a hole. I tell you what, when you drill these holes, you can kiss your drill bit goodbye. Man, does it tear up a drill bit. So that's what we're going to attempt right here. This angle right. Get the epoxy mixed up. I've tried several different things to mix the epoxy with, and I find that just a toothpick puts less bubbles in it than using, I was just cutting the end of a Q-tip off, but it seems like the smaller diameter of the toothpick puts less bubbles in it. And of course, as you know, if you put bubbles in your epoxy, it's a void and it's not going to be as strong. But just like Bondo or my other videos, like I said, you want to knead it. You really don't want to go stirring it, because you're going to introduce all those air bubbles. That was the other thing, is if I used a Q-tip, I thought it displaced more than what it should. Okay, now we just get to sit here and babysit it. It says it sets up in 5 minutes, and I always monitor this to see when it kicks. And when it starts to kick, that's when I want to make my final position and make sure it's not moving. One thing I've figured out about using this stuff is find you glass. You need to find you some glass to roll it out on. I don't have a piece of glass laying around, so we're just going to use this table, but it's awful dirty because it's still winter time and none of the... This is probably the worst parts. Taking the time to mix this well. So the first thing I want to do is roll it in a ball to get all the lines and grooves out of it. And then we want to start working it. I'm going to work it down in a taper. Before we stain it, we're going to take some 120 grit sandpaper and we're going to knock down any of the high edges, and we're going to try and make it as smooth as the others. Or a high grit sandpaper and the wet dry just to polish it. But we want to get these transition where we feather edged it. Real good here. All right, now we're just going to stain it. It's nice and smooth, but we want that transition really smooth here. Where you almost can't even see. One of the hardest things for me is I'm always trying to make it perfect, and that's why you'll see me filling all these other antlers, or other tines rather, because look at this one's all crooked. They're not perfect. When you really start studying antlers, you'll find out everyone, it's almost like a fingerprint, everyone is different. All right, we got that feathered edge pretty good. I can't feel it. It's like doing automotive work, and when you can feel stuff more than you can see it. See, I cannot feel that transition anymore. So Alright guys, there it is. Can you tell which one's fake? I mean, it stands out to me like a sore thumb because I did the repair